know what's more likely after a quick word from Menu RX.
Menu RX is the place to go if you're looking to lose weight, if you're looking to get in better shape, or if you're looking to just find out what foods are better fuel for your body. Don't go with some idiot on the internet, on Instagram. Don't go to a big box diet place that forces you to one plan, keeping points that they give to a 60-year-old woman weighing 120 pounds and a 40-year-old man weighing 400 pounds. It doesn't work that way. At Menu RX, they work with you as an individual. They consult you individually. They test you individually, and they find out which foods work best for you individually. And right now, if you sign up with Menu RX for any of their plans, you will get a 1-year membership to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, a $60 value, absolutely free. So don't wait another minute. Go to menu-rx.com. Sign up today. Menu-rx.com.
All right, it's time to play a little What's More Likely. Guys, I put together 6 of these. They span all of Cleveland sports.
Okay.
You know how it works. I give you 2 scenarios. You tell me what's more likely to happen of the 2.
Okay, we got
The
6
first
of these.
one, there are 6. The first one, what's more likely?
I like these.
The Cavs run it back next year with the core 4 still completely intact, or the Browns win 6 games in 2025?
No, you wrote more than 6 games.
More than 6 games in 2025.
More likely.
The Cavs.
Yeah, core 4. Browns ain't winning 7 games.
They are 8-9.
The Browns.
Well, then you would say the Browns are more likely.
But I know it's a guarantee that the core 4.
You think it's a guarantee?
The Browns' chances of winning
they're
more
stubborn.
than 6 games, I'm going to say, is 13%. Is there more than a 13% chance that the Cavs will break up the Big Four? I'm going to say yes. So I'm going to say the Cavs. No. So I'm going to say the Browns.
No, you would say the
Confused.
Cavs.
I'm saying the Cavs.
You're confusing yourself.
Yes.
If you think there's a 13%
Yes, sorry.
chance,
Yes.
which I don't know where you got that number from.
Did I say 30?
13.
Oh.
If you think there's a 13% chance that the Browns will win 6 games and you think there's a higher percentage.
Yes. I think there's a higher percentage. So I'm saying the
back,
Cavs. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Thank you.
It's going to be it's not impossible.
Yeah.
Not impossible to trade Darius. It just got a lot more difficult.
But I think Jarrett Allen is a good chance.
Jarrett is the
Yes.
one that I think.
I don't think they're going to trade Darius because of the injury. I think we're screwed on that one. But I think they're going to trade Jarrett Allen. Or at least I hope they are. So I'm going to go with that. Go ahead. Next, Mike.
Number 2, what's more likely? Shedeur and Dillon Gabriel combine for 12 or more starts this season, or the Guardians catch the Tigers and win the AL Central. So 12 or more starts for the rookie quarterbacks, or the Guardians catching the Tigers to win the division.
The quarterbacks.
If you could guarantee me that either Joe Flacco or Kenny Pickett are not on this team to start the year, then I would definitely say the first one.
But if
I can't guarantee that.
I can't guarantee it. I've felt all along that only one of Pickett and Flacco will be here, so I'm going to go with that. So I'm going to say the Browns quarterback one.
Yeah,
The Guardians just
they're a
just
500
not.
team. They're 8 games back. The
The Tigers are legit.
Tigers are legit.
You ready to admit it?
I think they've got a stacked. See, the fact that
They
it's
just
only
lost
June
Jackson
12th.
Jobe for the season.
Yeah, I saw
Not
that.
that's the end of the world.
But they've got an absolutely loaded farm system,
Yeah.
and they've got 2 years left with Tarek Skubal. So I would expect them to be aggressive at the trade deadline.
Yep.
So no, I don't think the Guardians catch them. So I will take the Browns.
Yeah. You too, Tyvus?
I started it off saying the Browns.
I think there's a couple of hitters on the Tigers a little over their skis, but the pitching's not. So, all right, go ahead, Mike.
Next one, what's more likely to happen? 3 Guardians finishing the season with 25
No.
or more home runs,
There's no chance.
or
That's
3 Browns finishing with 1,000 or more yards. Now, not combined. So if Quinshon Judkins has 800 rushing
I
and
gotcha.
300 passing, doesn't count.
three skill position players with 1,000 or more yards, either rushing or receiving.
Yeah, but not combined. Or
I get
3
it.
Guardians hitting 25 or more homes.
That's definitely the Browns.
That ain't happening.
Yeah.
Which is not happening.
Guardians.
Yeah, that's not happening.
I mean,
No
we
chance.
have we're already halfway into the season.
Well, not
so-
quite, but getting
Close
there.
enough.
Yeah,
I went back and forth on that number. Steve, we go back to that one. What number did I have to get to where you
20,
thought it
I
would
would have
be?
thought.
Even 20, I would
17.
consider it a 20.
I mean,
17.
what's
Yeah.
Manzardo and Carlos Santana's home run totals right now?
Jose has 12, Manzardo 11, Bo Naylor 9, Santana 8, Schneeman 7.
There's no chance Santana's hitting 25 home runs.
17.
No, 20.
There's no chance Schneeman's hitting 25 home runs.
If we went to 20. If I just
20,
went to
I would have
20.
thought long and hard.
I still,
3. The
I mean,
Browns.
I don't think,
I would take the Guardians at 20.
honestly, I don't think either one's happening.
I would take
I
the
don't
Guardians
think
at
either
20.
one's happening.
So I think Jerry Judy's got a decent shot at 1,000 yards.
Well,
Neither one is happening.
I
The
don't
more I
know
think
who-
about it.
I got a hard time figuring out who the third person.
Yeah, because
would be.
Judkins
The
better get
Joku?
1,000 yards. The Joku's not getting 1,000 yards. Neither one's happening.
who's the two?
I guess I would go with baseball.
Judy, okay. Who's the second?
Judkins?
Judkins.
Oh,
'cause
Judd.
he's
Yeah,
star
so,
runner.
I was thinking receiving only.
Yeah. No.
No, this could be receiving or rushing.
Yeah, you're right.
Does-
I don't know who.
Does
like,
quarterback count?
no. Well, I guess if the quarterback ran for 1,000 yards, that would count,
Well,
but that's not
they
going to
will.
If
happen.
Joe Flacco runs for 1,000 yards,
Yeah.
I'll shave my head.
Really? They're both extremely unlikely.
Jose's getting to 20. I think Manzardo gets to 20.
If you did, now that I think of, if you said 20,
20,
I would go with the Guardians.
Yeah, I think I would.
Because there's
too.
really not a third player. Who's the third player? Who do you think's the most likely?
Njoku
For the Browns?
is the most likely.
But what are the odds?
You asked me who's the
No,
most
yeah,
likely.
okay, but what are the odds?
Cedric
You
Till.
even give it 10% chance?
I'd give it.
No.
No, I'd give it more than
Deontay-
that.
What's the most he's ever
Deontay
had?
Johnson.
800?
I mean, no, but I hear why you would say
It's
that.
possible.
Is
If he stays on the straight and narrow, that's
He
not impossible.
had 882 in 23.
I actually think if now it's a big if, but if Deontay Johnson doesn't act like, as Dustin said yesterday, a turd, he's the most likely to be the third
What's
guy.
more likely? Deontay Johnson has 1,000 receiving yards, or he makes it to the end of the season on the roster.
Oh, definitely, or not making it to the end of the season on the roster.
Yeah, what's more likely? He's not on the roster at the end of the
Yes.
season, or he has.
I would say
1,000
not on
receiving-
the roster.
I would agree with that.
But if he does straighten out his act, he has the talent. He's had 1,000 yards.
I mean,
so
this
that could
is
happen.
obviously his last chance.
Yeah.
This
He
is
said,
his last
he said
chance.
the Browns was the only
I'll go with
one
the
I
that-
Browns,
can't believe
but-
he admitted that.
No,
They don't ever admit that.
No.
Every
Yeah.
player says he's got choices and
Yeah.
options.
No, they
Every
don't.
player
Yeah.
does.
But he, Sean, did he say why he wasn't at OTAs?
I did not hear that part because I was eating fajitas.
Smart. All right,
This
Mike,
is why I
next.
got to go myself, man.
I don't know if he was asked that or
Let's
not.
get there,
I don't know.
Travis.
I
Let's
didn't,
get
I
there.
didn't care to talk to him.
All
I
right,
lied.
the next one. What is more likely to happen? Evan Mobley leading the Cavs in scoring next season, or Myles Garrett finishing the year with 21 or more sacks?
Miles Garrett.
Miles.
21
Evan Mobley.
Miles.
Evan Mobley.
Wow.
Miles has
Yeah,
never
I
had
guess.
more than, what, 17?
16.
16?
Miles also never had.
Well, Evan Mobley's never led the team in scoring for a season.
Obviously.
Miles also never had this productive. Of
No, he has
defensive
that-
tackles?
This could be.
That is incorrect. His defensive tackles have had no production. Talented, maybe.
He had Sheldon Richardson.
You said he's never had his productive tackles. Sheldon Richards is more productive than anybody they have now.
Malik Collins was pretty good.
How old is Malik Collins?
31, 30, 30, 31. I don't know.
For the record, I
30
don't-
years old.
How many sacks did he have last year?
5.5.
He had 5.5 last year.
All right.
Look at that.
I don't think either one of these happens. But
No,
I'll
no.
take.
There's no way either one of these happens. I'm going Miles Garrett.
How many?
I'm going Miles Garrett because I mean he's the guy. The guy is incredible.
Donovan Mitchell averaged what? 8 more points a game than Evan Mobley last year? 6?
6. 6.
Which one would you pick, Mike?
Mobley.
Percentage chance Mobley scores more points a game than Mitchell this year?
27.2.
No chance. You think there's a 27% chance he scores more than? You guys love your Mobley.
I mean, if you think about it,
27%.
if you think about it, 6 points is 3 buckets. If he gets a little more aggressive on the offensive glass, that's a putback. I think they're going to run more offense to him,
You
especially early in
think-
the season. Yeah.
You think he's
certainly
going
think
to
it's possible.
average more
You're
points?
conning yourself right now.
He's going to average more points than Donovan?
I said there's a 60.
You conning yourself.
7% chance. No, but I don't.
I
it's
think
crazy.
there's like a 1% chance he does it, and I think there's a 1.1%
What was the
chance
What was the number on Miles? 21.
Yeah.
21, which would be 5 more sacks than he's ever had. In
7
his career.
players in history have ever had 21 or more sacks in an NFL season. I'll take
Are
Evan
any of them
Mobley.
more talented than him? I don't know.
I'm just saying, 7 times in history versus Evan Mobley
I
the leading scorer.
got
on
Evan
Cavs
Mobley being the leading scorer 1% of the time, and Myles Garrett 21 sacks 1.1% of the time. Let's go. Next.
Then you're going to love the percentages on this next one. But what's more likely to happen? The Browns make the playoffs or Austin Hedges finishes the year with an OPS above 775?
The Browns make the playoffs. There's
What's
zero.
his OPS now?
500.
Oh, yeah.
The Browns have like a 5% chance to make the playoffs. Austin Hedges has a 0% chance to have an OPS 7. That was the easiest one.
Yeah, Browns in the playoffs.
What number? I need a third party to help me come with
600.
these numbers because
600 would have made me
Yeah,
think.
if you would have said a 600 OPS, and even then I probably would have picked the Browns to make the playoffs.
What's his OPS right now?
500 on the dot.
550. I'm kidding.
And by the way, a 600 OPS is terrible, and I still would have taken the Browns, who would stink, that wouldn't make the playoffs.
There's a 0% chance. That
550.
By the way, if you ask Austin Hedges that question, he'll admit he's not getting 775 OPS.
Oh, yeah.
No chance.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to tweak this next one because I've gotten your guys' answers. I feel like I know how you're going to answer. So
Yeah. Is this the last one?
this is the last one,
Yeah.
and then we're going to play your Little League package.
All right.
What's more likely? The Cavs trade both Garland and Allen before the start of the season,
Yeah.
or the Browns make some sort of significant roster move before Week 1?
Well,
what
you have
is-
to define that.
Yeah.
I know. Well, what I had
What was the original?
Make a trade for another veteran receiver because Andrew Berea is obsessed with trading for veteran receivers in August.
I mean, I would take Browns make a trade for
I
a veteran
probably
receiver.
would.
I mean,
take the
if
same
they
thing.
trade Kenny Pickett, is that a significant move?
Yeah.
What was the first one seems so outrageous.
Trade
I already
make a
forgot.
Darius
significant
and
roster
Jarrett
move.
Allen.
Oh, trading
trade both. They're not trading.
If Darius were healthy, then maybe I'd consider that, but it's not, so they're not going to trade
They're
him.
not trade both.
Yeah.
And if you're considering, which I don't, trading
By the
Kenny,
way, we made these before Darius injury news came
Right.
out. Just a heads up.
but you just said you considered trading Kenny Pickett, and I assume Joe Flacco is a significant move, which I don't. But if you're considering that significant, then I think one of them is going to be gone. So
You ain't
you go.
Yeah, I feel like you can't. You ain't gonna trade Joe. Joe can't. I feel like Joe don't have value. I don't guess Kenny would either, but he's younger.
I'd trade Kenny Pickett for a tackling dummy and a bucket of sunflower seeds.
You are very disrespectful. You know that?
I can be. I can be.